Hi, everybody. Welcome. I'm so glad you're joining me. Um, we wish we were together in person, but so grateful and happy that you are joining us virtually and practicing self care by continuing your practice this way. So, welcome. So, I know sometimes, especially right now, when we're facing uncertainty, it's really easy to get into this feeling of sadness, worry, anxiety. But it's really important to remember that there is still a lot of joy in the world. And if we can really focus our energy on the joy that is around us, then we are in a much better place to deal with everything that life throws in our path. So today especially, let's focus on joy during our practice. And there's a lot of ways we can experience joy on our mat. So one of the ways that I find joy on the mat is by turning my attention inward and really focusing on those things in my life that bring me joy. Another way that you can experience joy on your mat in your practice right now is music. Now, when we do these, or when I do these filmed classes, I don't have music playing in the background. But if you have another device that you listen to music on and you have a favorite playlist, go get it, turn that music on, because music can produce so much joy and bring us so much joy. So listen to what makes you happy. It doesn't have to be yoga music. You can listen to whatever makes you smile. Another way that we can be joyful on our mat is, I'm hoping that you are dressed in a way that's comfortable for you, that you can move in a way that's comfortable, but put something on that's really fun. These are one of my favorite pair of pants. They're flowy, they're fun, I just like the pattern in them, and they just make me smile. So dress in a way that makes you happy. And then most importantly in our practice, we experience joy when we listen to our body and do what feels right, what brings us joy. And so if a posture isn't feeling right, if it's not bringing you joy, come out of it. Take a modification, take a break. So those are all ways we can find joy on our mat. So just real quickly, speaking of postures, a little bit later in the practice, I'll be doing full pigeon. That's a pose that brings me so much joy. It's one of my favorite poses, but it's not for everyone. And so if full pigeon, which I'll cue later when we come to it, if that is not in your practice, you always have the option to come down onto your back and practice supine pigeons. I'm going to show you that just quickly now before we start. And so you would come to your back and you would cross one ankle over your opposite knee, maybe pressing away gently on your thigh. Or you can also thread through that figure four made by your legs and just draw everything in. You'll get the same benefit. It's just a little easier on your knees. So when we come to pigeon, just know that's an option. So let's go ahead and settle in, finding a place where you can just kind of let go of all that worry and that anxiety. So that might be on your back supine or sitting up. So come to that place now and close your eyes. And just really start to begin to connect to that three-part breath. So experiencing the joy in your breath, knowing it's what keeps you connected and grounded. Maybe placing one hand on your chest and the other on your belly as we practice that three-part breath. Inhaling, our belly inflates, our rib cage expands, and our chest lifts. And then on our exhale, reversing that. Continue connecting with that breath, finding the joy in your breath. Connecting also to the beat of your heart with your hand on your chest, connecting to the joy that's in our heart. And as you continue connecting to that breath, that heartbeat, maybe turning your focus inward and setting your intention for today. I am joyful. Maybe thinking of those things that bring you great joy. And as you settle in for a moment or two here, I have just a couple of words of wisdom I'd like to share before we start. Feel joy in all that you do. When you are not happy, you are not in alignment with your true self, and you have a mindset of judgment and fear. Feelings of joy are a way of letting you know that you are following your true path. The emotion of joy is a signal to your conscious mind that this action that makes you feel this way is what you should be doing more of. Only you know what feels good in your heart. So do not let the judgment of others dissuade you from following your bliss. Do what you love and love what you do. If something is making you miserable, you have the power to change your circumstances. Do what feeds your soul. When you begin to live in joy, you become a beacon of love, and the law of attraction will see that only good things will come to you. So settle in here for another moment or two, connecting to that breath, reminding yourself of those things that bring you joy. If you are lying down on your back, let's all find our way to seated. We'll start seated today. And when you arrive there, just fluttering open your eyes, sitting nice and tall, as we begin to connect that movement to our breath, remembering to choose joy. So let's inhale, arms up. Exhale, bringing hands to heart center. Inhale, floating arms up. Exhale, hands to heart, connecting with our heartbeat. Inhaling up. Exhaling, making that connection with joy. One more time. And then we'll release, placing our left hand on the mat beside us, and then inhaling, right arm floats up, really lifting up, feeling that length in our side body, and then exhaling, finding a gentle stretch to the left. We'll release that, and then inhale, left arm floats up, and exhale, finding that length, finding that extension. Let's do that one more time each side. As we inhale and rise up, really feeling that length in our side body. And we'll release that. Let's just find some movement for our arms, gently swinging one arm in front and behind and then the other. Finding joy in our movement. Maybe putting a little smile on your face as we move. We'll all meet back at center, and we're going to come to all fours, so swinging our legs behind us. We'll come into all fours, preparing for cat-cow. So let's find our alignment here. Fingers spread wide, shoulders over wrists, hips over knees as we begin to flow. First into our cow. And then exhaling, rounding into our cat. Inhaling, lengthening our front body. Exhaling, rounding into our cat. Continue flowing, matching your movement, your breath, nourishing our spine, finding the joy in our movement. Flow one more time. back at neutral spine. And we'll inhale, really feeling that length in our spine, and then exhaling, sinking our hips toward our heels as we gaze over our right shoulder. Inhaling, feeling that length, and exhaling, looking over our left shoulder this time. Let's flow one more time each side. Finding the joy in your breath, finding the joy in your movement. And we'll come back to neutral spine, and then we'll all meet in child's pose. So letting our hips sink toward our heels. They may not be there yet, but making sure we find a spot for our head to rest, whether that's our stacked hands, a block, or our head on the mat. And we'll inhale up to all fours. Inhale a little farther forward in kneeling plank, and then exhale back into child's. Inhaling into kneeling plank, and exhale back into child's. We'll do that 2 more times, just waking up our body. And this time we'll come into kneeling plank, and then find our way to down dog, sending our hips up to the sky in down dog. Finding joy in our down dog. Maybe that means bending our knees a little or a lot, or pedaling out our feet. Letting our head hang heavy, but letting a smile find its way to our lips. And then we'll slowly make the journey to the top of our mat, meeting in forward fold. And then bending our knees, sinking our hips, inhaling, we rise up. Inhale, arms float up. And then on an exhale, our left hand finds our right wrist as we gently find flexion to the left. Inhaling back to center. Exhaling, finding that bend to the other side. 1 more time each side. And we'll release. And we'll get ready to flow with a chair pose here. So we're going to continue to warm our body, preparing for the strength portion of our practice. Will come later. So inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, we sink into twisting chair. Left elbow touches right thigh. Fingertips sweep along the bottom of our mat, and then inhaling, we rise. Exhale, we twist in the other direction. Inhaling, rising up in joy. Finding the movement, finding the breath that makes us feel joyful. 1 more time each side. We'll release into mountain. And we're going to find moonflower's stance. So step your right foot back so you're facing the long edge. Your toes will be pointed out at an angle and your heels pointed in. We're going to inhale, arms up, fingers spread wide. And on an exhale, we draw in elbows toward our rib cage. Inhale, we rise. Exhale, we sink. And now we can play with this. We can find joy in being playful. So on an inhale, maybe left leg lifts. Exhale, sinking. Just play with it. Play with balance. Feel the joy in being playful. Put a smile on your face. Feel the joy in your heart. 1 more time each side. And we'll release. And if you're facing the long edge, heel toeing your feet in and coming to the top of our mat. So inhale, arms up. Exhale, diving into forward fold. Inhaling into monkey, flat back, crown of the head, pressing forward. Exhale, release into forward fold. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, sinking into chair. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhaling into monkey. Exhaling, forward fold. Inhaling, we rise. And exhale, sinking into our chair. We'll release, taking a moment in mountain, closing our eyes, connecting back to breath, to our heart. We cannot cure the world of sorrows. We can choose to live in joy. Let's inhale, arms up. Exhale, dive into forward fold. We're going to step our left foot back, and we're coming into lunge. And so our right knee is over our right ankle. Left leg out, long behind us. And we can stay right here. Fingertips can be on blocks, or if you don't have blocks, maybe some books. Or we can bring our hands up to our knees. Or arms can be up. Choose what brings you joy. And settle in for 2 more breaths. And then we'll release. Then we're going to find a twist. And so left hand stays on the mat, right arm floats up as we twist. We'll release, bringing hands back to frame our foot. We'll bring that back knee in just a little bit, tuck our toes. And we're going to bring ourselves up. And we're going to come into high lunge. I'm going to face you here. So in high lunge, our front toes face forward. Our back toes do as well. Back heel is up. And I like to imagine my feet on railroad ties. Okay. So we're going to start by just flowing up and down. Inhaling up, straightening that front leg. Exhaling, we release. Inhale, lifting up, and exhale, we release. And we can continue with this flow, or we can play here. So inhaling up, exhaling, we step up, lifting that front knee. Inhale, stepping it back. Inhaling, lifting that knee. One more time. And this time, when we bring it back, we're going to open up to warrior 2. So our front toes are facing forward. Our back foot is at 90 degrees. Torso, chest, shoulders are facing long edge. As we extend our arms, reaching for the wall in front and behind of us, and gazing peacefully over our front middle finger. Settling in here, finding joy in your strength. Put a smile on your face. One more breath here. And we'll come back into reverse warrior, letting our left hand find our back leg. Our right arm floats up, a nice straight line from fingertips to our shoulder. Knowing at any time we can straighten that front knee, give it a break. And then we'll come forward into side angle. In side angle, we have choices. Our arm can be up, it can be on our hip, the small of our back, or we can also choose some movement. If movement brings you joy, inhaling, circling that arm up and around. One more time if we're circling. And then we'll frame our front foot with our hands, our back toes turn forward. And we'll step up into forward fold. Inhale, we rise. And exhale, we release. For a breath or two in mountain. As we prepare to do that on the other side. So let's inhale, arms float up. Exhale, diving into forward fold. This time our right foot steps back. Turn so you can see me. And we're in low lunge. So left knee over, left ankle. Back leg is out behind us. And choose your low lunge. Fingertips can be on the mat or blocks. You can find your knee. Your arms can be up. Find the joy in your breath and in this moment, in this pose, settling in for 2 more breaths. We'll release, framing our front foot. This time, right hand stays on the mat as left arm floats up in our twist. That hand can also find our hip or the small of our back. Decide what it is that your body needs today. Release, frame our front foot. Let's bring that back knee in just a little bit. Tuck our toes and we're going to come up into that high lunge. So this time our front toes are facing forward. As are our back toes, but our back heel is up. Let's take a moment to find our balance. And then we'll start to find joy in movement. Inhaling, arms come up, front leg straightens. Exhale, we sink. We can continue with this, or we can play with that balance and movement. Inhaling up, exhaling, bringing right knee up in front. Inhaling, get behind. Exhaling, in front. One more time. And this time as our right foot comes back, we'll turn it into that warrior 2. Front toes forward, our left knee is tracking toward our left pinky toes. Settle in here, releasing your shoulders away from your ears. Just gaze over your front fingers. Connecting breath, movement, strength, bringing us joy. We'll come back into reverse or peaceful warrior. Now we can come out for a moment if that's what brings us joy in our practice. One more breath. And then we'll come into side angle again, choosing where that right arm needs to be. Or maybe we need movement, finding those circles. One more time. And then our hands will frame our front foot, our back toes turn, and we step up into forward fold. And let's just shake our hips side to side here. As our head hangs heavy, relax your face and let a smile be on your face. Inhale, we rise, and exhale, hands to heart. And this time we're going to step our right foot back into warrior 1. So in warrior 1, our back foot is at about 45 degrees. Front toes facing forward. And we settle in to whatever warrior 1 feels right for us today. Our hands can be at heart. We can have cactus arms. Or arms can be up. Making sure your shoulders and your torso are facing forward. One more breath here. And then we'll straighten that front leg, maybe bringing that back foot in just a little bit as we hinge at our hips, coming into pyramid. So knowing our hands can find our thighs, mat, maybe blocks if you have them, or books if you don't. So letting yourself release into this pose. Finding length on your inhale. Maybe you fold a bit more on your exhale. And then you'll turn your back toes to face forward as you step back up in to forward fold. Inhale, we rise. Release into mountain. And we'll do that on the other side. So this time our left foot steps back into warrior one. Making sure shoulders and chest are facing forward. Settle in here. Finding the warrior one. It makes you joyful today. Commit to it and settle in for 3 more breaths. Release our arms, straightening that front leg and hinging at the hips, folding over our front leg in our pyramid. Deciding what that looks like for us today. Really listening to your body and giving it what it needs. And we'll turn our back toes, step our back foot up to meet our front, and down dog, forward fold. Bending our knees and sinking our hips, we'll inhale, rising up, and we'll release into mountain pose. And we'll prepare for balance. And balance is one of those things that allows us to be kind of childlike, because it's kind of playing with balance. And we can find great joy in playing and being childlike. So let go of any inhibitions and just have fun. Put a smile on your face. So we're gonna step our left foot out, making it our firm foundation. Okay. We're gonna start by just lifting our right knee. Finding a spot to gaze at, finding our balance. And then we'll just make some circles with our ankle, first in one direction, then the other. And we'll start to open up our hips. So just finding some external hip rotations. Keep your gaze focused. And then we'll reverse and go in the other direction. And then when we meet back in center, left hand finds our right knee. And right arm opens to the side in a gentle twist. Coming out if you need to. Otherwise, 2 more breaths. And slowly releasing that. Nice job. And then we'll do that on the other side. So this time, right foot steps out. Find your balance, find your gaze. Left knee lifts. And slowly find some ankle rotations, first in one direction, and then the other. And then if it feels right for you and brings you joy, let's open up those hips, starting with those external rotations. Nice and slow, keep your gaze focused. And then we'll do the other direction, internal rotation. Ooh, And then if you need to step out or fall out, go ahead and then come back in. Right hand finds left knee. Left arm opens to the side and let a smile be on your face. Feel the joy and playfulness. And then slowly releasing, shaking it all out. Let's just swing our arms. Find some organic movement here. And we'll get ready to bring it down to the earth. Inhale, arms float up. Exhale, coming into forward fold. Back into down dog. And then into all fours. And into child. So let's just take a few breaths here in child. We'll inhale into all fours. I'm going to do a spinal balance that we hold. So let's make sure shoulders are over wrists, hips are over knees. We're going to extend right foot, left arm. We're going to hold. So fingertips reaching for the wall in front of you, heel pressing out behind you. Imagine one straight line. Or imagine balancing a glass of water on your back. So still and flat. Suck your belly button into your spine. One more breath. And then we'll release. We're going to sweep up into kneeling mountain. Release our arms. We're going to come into gate pose. So our right foot is going to extend out. The toes of our right foot are pointing forward. Our left hip is over our left knee. Right hand can find our right leg. And inhaling, left arm up. Feeling that length up our side body. As we exhale, feeling a gentle stretch to the right. Feeling our length. One more breath. We'll release our arm, carefully bringing our right knee back to the earth. We'll come back down to all fours. And just take a moment in child's. And then we'll get ready to do that on the other side. So we'll come up to all fours. And this time, right arm, left leg in spinal balance. Feeling our length from fingertips out through our heel. One straight line. Sucking that belly button into our spine. Feeling the strength of our core. One more breath. And then we'll release. Sweeping up into kneeling mountain and releasing. And this time our left leg comes out to the side, front toes facing forward. Right hip is over right knee. This time our left hand can find our left leg as right arm floats up. We find that gentle stretch. Inhaling, really lifting, feeling that length. On our exhale, maybe we feel that extension a little more deeply. And we'll slowly release our arm, draw our leg back in. And let's come into child's. Taking the time to come back to that intention. I am joyful. Remembering all of those things that bring us joy. We'll come up into all fours and we're going to prepare for pigeon pose. So this is where you can come to your back and do that reclining pigeon if you want. I'm going to grab a block here if you have a block or a book or two that's kind of nice for pigeon. I'll show you how I use it. So our fingers are spread wide. We're going to slide our right knee so it's coming up toward our right wrist. Our left foot, if you imagine a big clock on your mat, and this is 12 o'clock up in front, your right toe should be pointing at about maybe 8 o'clock. Your left leg is out behind you. We're working on squaring our hips. This is where I like a block under my right hip here. And then slowly walking ourselves down, finding a place for our head to rest. If you have another block, that's an option as well. And just really focus on relaxing your shoulders, your neck, really letting go in this pose. It can be an intense pose, so you can come out anytime. Honestly, I could stay here forever. This is one of my favorite poses. It brings great joy to my hips and my sciatic, which has been acting up a lot lately. But just settle in here, relaxing, breathing, finding the joy in the opening of our hips, releasing all those things that don't serve us. One more breath here. We'll slowly walk ourselves up. I'm going to remove that block. We'll sweep that leg behind us so we're back in all fours. And we're going to do that on the other side. So if you're on the floor, you're going to switch legs. And if we're doing full pigeon, this time our left knee is going to track toward our left wrist. And if we're imagining that giant clock on our mat, this time our left toes are pointing to about 4 o'clock, thereabouts. Our left leg is out straight behind us. You like that block, and place it under your hip and really feel yourself settling here. Focusing on nice square hips. Inhale, and then exhale, slowly lowering yourself to the earth. Finding a place for your head to rest. Really let everything go here. Really relax your shoulders, the muscles in your face and jaw. And just relish the joyfulness of this pose. I mean, you can come out at any time, otherwise, let's stay here for 2 or 3 more breaths. Slowly we'll lift ourselves up, removing that block if you have one. We'll meet back in all fours, and we'll sink one hip to the earth. We're going to meet in seated, so if you're on your back, coming up to a seated position, we'll have our legs straight out in front of us as we sit nice and tall in staff pose. We're going to draw our right knee in toward our chest. The sole of our foot is on the mat, can be either on the inside of our knee or the outside. We'll hold our right knee with our left hand and inhale, right arm floats up. Feeling our length, and then exhale, we place our hand on the mat behind our hip as we twist. On our inhales, we're focusing on telescoping our spine, making it longer, then deepening our twist, always turning our head last. Really wringing out everything that we don't need right now. All those things that are counterproductive to bringing us joy. Let them go. Twist them out, breathe them out, and inhale, joy. Finding the joy in each breath and in each moment. And we'll slowly release that twist, sending our right leg out in front. This time drawing our left knee in. Holding on to our left knee with our right hand this time. Inhaling, left arm up. And then exhaling, finding that twist. Inhaling, finding that length in our spine, and then exhaling, twisting first with our chest and our shoulders, our head last. Breathing deeply here. Helps the twist do its work. We'll slowly untwist. And then we'll bring the soles of both feet to the mat as we make our way down to the earth, down to our back. And let's start by bringing both knees to our chest and then rocking back and forth, giving ourselves a little massage here. Maybe rolling from one elbow all the way to the other. And then we'll release, and we'll place the soles of both feet on the mat. Let's lift our right leg up to the sky, and we'll grab behind our thigh and just gently, very gently pulling in. Making sure our shoulders stay connected with the mat. Maybe our hands come up behind our calves. And then gently opening that leg over to the right, opening up our hips even more. Again, making sure that our hips and our shoulders stay connected with the mat. We'll gently bring that back to center. Draw that knee into the chest. And then we'll place the sole of that foot on the mat. Let's inhale, left leg to the sky. And let's find that stretch on this side. So placing our hands behind our thigh or our calf and gently drawing in. Keeping our connection with the mat, shoulders and hips staying plugged in. And gently opening that over to the left. Doesn't have to be far. Remember, we want to keep hips and shoulders connected to the mat. We'll bring that leg back to center. Draw that knee into the chest one more time. And we'll replace that foot on the mat as we prepare for bridge. So let's walk our heels in close to our hips. Our shoulders walk away from our ears. Our arms are in tight to our body, palms facing down. On an inhale, we're lifting our hips and peeling our spine away from the earth. Maybe our shoulders roll underneath just a bit more. We'll hold here for 3 to 5 breaths. You can always have the option of doing a flowing bridge, or maybe if you have a block, placing it under your hips for supported bridge. 2 more breaths here. And then slowly, one vertebrae at a time, we'll replace our spine, our hips back on the earth. Bring our knees into our chest one more time. Then we'll do happy baby to finish up. Happy baby, joyful. Have the joy that we see in our children. They sometimes just play with uninhibited joy. Let's make that our intention whenever we come to our mat. So in happy baby, we can grasp behind our thighs and draw our knees toward our chest. We can grasp behind our thighs, or we can make peace fingers with our hands, grasping our big toes, capping them with our thumbs, and just drawing our knees down toward the mat, maybe rocking back and forth a little bit. Working to keep your shoulders connected to the mat. Letting a smile be on your face. I am joyful. And if we can connect with that joy that's in our hearts, it's that much easier to radiate our joy out to others. And we all need it right now. Option to stay here for a few more breaths, or if there's something else you need to complete your practice, maybe legs up a wall, or another inversion. I invite you to go there now, getting in any last movements you need to finish your practice. Or if you're ready to come into your final relaxation, your Shavasana, finding that now. Maybe putting on a sweater or socks, whatever makes you comfortable as you settle in. And as you settle in, reconnecting with that breath, with your heartbeat, drawing your attention to those things in your life that bring you joy. And as you settle in here for the next few moments, I'd like to share a reading from most likely my favorite book ever, Heart Talk by Cleo Wade. And this just says perfectly what it means to have joy. She writes, oftentimes when the world feels chaotic, we begin to feel as if it is somehow inappropriate to have joy. Have your joy. Joy is a form of radical self-care. Joy energizes us to take on even the most difficult circumstances. When we have joy, especially in the midst of challenging times, we are saying to the world, I will define the current state of the world around me instead of allowing it to define me. So today, regardless of what is happening, empower yourself by embracing joy. So we may not be able to cure the world of sorrows, but we can choose to live in joy. So settle in here. A few more minutes of joyful silence. And if you're ready, finding some gentle movement to bring yourself back to an awareness of this space. And then finding your way over to one side or the other. Taking another moment here for breath. And then slowly, we'll make our way up to seated. We'll inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands to heart as we bow our head. Choose joy. Choose happy. Choose to shine. And as we all step off of our mats today, may we walk in joy. Namaste. Thanks, everybody. It was wonderful to have you join me, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in person soon. In the meantime, stay healthy, stay well, be happy, be joyful. Talk to you soon. Bye.